we live in a world, in movie fandom and everything like that.
In a world
where there's always casting speculations. Everybody's throwing in because everybody has the internet now. Everybody's got a scoop. Everybody's got a scoop. This one is kind of interesting. As we know, the X-Men are coming to the MCU. As a matter of fact, they've already appeared. Beast has already made his first official appearance at the end credits of the Marvels, right? So he's already been there. We've already heard in Ms. Marvel that little music hit from the X-Men cartoon, which was just awesome, by the way. That was a great little Easter egg in there. But people are starting to think grander things because there's a report going around that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is being looked at to be Apocalypse. Now, this comes from the folks over at Cinema Blend. I really like Cinema Blend. They wrote, wild MCU rumor claims Dwayne Johnson is playing an X-Men villain, and I'm kind of into the casting. So they write this. They say, fans have spent years watching the Marvel movies in order and have not so patiently waited for the X-Men to finally join in on the fun. It's unclear when that team will appear in an upcoming Marvel movie, which has led to a number of rumors, and a new one shared by CBM claims that The Rock might be playing Apocalypse in the shared universe. While we should take this with a grain of salt for the time being, the timing of this possible casting does make sense. The MCU has been slowly introducing X-Men lore, including the Marvel's credit scene and, of course, Deadpool and Wolverine. And if the team of mutants is finally appearing, they're going to need a big villain to battle. Okay, now I should point out that Cinema Blend is referring to a story in CBM, comic book movie, that we quote quite a bit. And CBM is getting their information from a Twitter account. Now, it's one of those Twitter accounts that has been wrong sometimes, but has actually has broken a number of things and had been right about a couple of things. So it's coin toss, real or not real. I thought we would take a couple of seconds here to talk about the reasons why, as I like to do when these things come up, about why maybe we could believe it and why we shouldn't believe it. All right. So reasons why we can believe it and reasons why we can't. Let me start with the reasons why we shouldn't. I don't know how far away we are from an X-Men movie actually getting made, but I feel safe in saying years. Mm-hmm. We are years away from an X-Men movie. How long did we have to wait to get the casting Rob of Fantastic Four?
A long time.
We had to wait a long time till they were literally within months of starting production, right? The MCU is not in the habit, unless your name is Mahershala Ali, of casting somebody for a movie they are years away from ever making. Now, in the case of Blade, in their defense, they probably thought they were going to be going into production a lot faster than they ended up being. It's now 5 years later. We're still waiting. But that's a rare example, right? They generally do not go out and cast these roles when they're years away from even making the movie, generally speaking. So to me, that is the number one reason to not buy into this, is that it doesn't even make any sense that they would have picked somebody to play Apocalypse when they're this far away. As far as we know, they have no writer, they have no director, they haven't even announced a project yet. Oh, but they're going out and casting for it? Well, what do you have to say?
Do you know who was a friend of Apocalypse's? Kang. Kang and Apocalypse knew one another in Egypt when Kang was Rama-Tut.
They were, well, not that just they knew each other, they were also adversaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see, because if they move forward with the Kang dynasty in some form, I love the way that Brian in X-Men Apocalypse, Bryan Singer, showed Apocalypse
in the post-credit scene. Yeah.
Well, no, but in ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
You know how that was cool. How in the beginning you have that great opening sequence where he gets buried and all that. But since Apocalypse is the first mutant, what better way to introduce mutants into the Marvel Cinematic Universe than in the Kang Dynasty? because what is, dynastic, the Egyptian dynasties, the pharaohs and all that. What if we met Kang as Rama-Tut, and then you meet Apocalypse
as En-Sabanur.
En-Sabanur and Rama-Tut are hanging out. I think that we could see that. And whether you're that way, it'd be like Thanos. You already know you're going to have Apocalypse be a big dude, but you introduce him in a small way in the Kang dynasty in such a way that's so canonical. I think it could be really cool. And look, I think they'll use Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson the way they use Josh Brolin as Thanos. They'll make him huge. He'll have some.
Well, yeah, it's Apocalypse. So
but he'd be great. I think that's a great casting thing.
I'll say this though,
but I don't know. That's just a theory.
Yeah, remember, Kang Dynasty isn't even called Kang Dynasty anymore.
Right.
So, and then the question is, are they actually going to use those Avengers movies to introduce X-Men? Don't know about that. And so I have struggles believing this because of all the timing. Now,
yeah.
That being said, let's look at the opposite side of the coin. What are some reasons maybe to buy into this? While Magneto is the quintessential X-Men foil, Apocalypse is the biggest threat. I mean, you can get into godlike characters, sure, but basically speaking, he's the biggest threat. I mean, even in their own storyline, my all-time favorite storyline, of course, is X-Men Age of Apocalypse, but even in that, like, Legion goes back in time to try to make life better for his dad in a real twisted kind of way. But without Charles Xavier there, nobody is there to stop Apocalypse and his four horsemen from basically dominating the world, particularly North America and all that kind of stuff. He's the guy. He's En-Sabanur. He's the original. He is Apocalypse.
By the way, you can get the hardcover of the entire Age of Apocalypse storyline.
How does that fit into one volume?
Oh, it's huge. It's $125.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's awesome.
I
just reread.
By the way, the Bishop Apocalypse fight in that series is so good.
It's so good.
Anyway,
it's so much fun.
Sidetracked here. So let's talk about why maybe you could believe it. Okay. Number one, you got a character like Apocalypse. It's maybe a character you wait on and build up to and all that kind of stuff, but it's also a character you can make a foundational thing with X-Men, like you were pointing out. If you want to introduce mutants, why not start with the first and kind of build from there? So, okay, that could make sense. Even though the movie is years away, it could be that, like Black Panther and other characters, they introduce him in another movie or project. That is a possibility. We got Hank McCoy popped up in the Marvels. Why can't Apocalypse pop up somewhere there too? Okay. Well, then we get into the specifics about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Number one, whatever you think of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, there is no denying, unless you're an idiot, that he is one of the biggest stars in the world. You can hate Dwayne Johnson, but even if you hate him, you probably acknowledge he is one of the biggest stars in the world. So there's that. That never hurts. There are a lot of people who only watch certain movies. So there are people who just think Dwayne Johnson flat out can't act. Those are people who have never seen Snitch. Those are people who have never seen Faster.
Some Pain and Gain.
What's Pain and Gain? Thank you. Some people might even want to throw in Walking Tall.
Walking Tall.
Like, you can't watch Snitch and Faster and Pain and Gain and say, oh, that guy can't act. Yeah, he can.
Yeah.
Is he about to win any Academy Awards anytime soon? Absolutely not. But he can act. He can. When he's called. The thing about The Rock is, when you put him in a movie, people want to see The Rock, right? So in most of his movies, Dwayne Johnson is playing The Rock. Get your candy ass over here and bring me some snoodle. Right?
And a bottle.
And a bottle. Rock's gotta pee. Bring me a bottle. I'll be back in 8 hours.
And a dragon.
You know?
I'm sorry.
And a dragon. I mean, imagine it. Imagine it. He's Apocalypse. And he says, Sinister, what do you think the X-Men will do next? Well, my Lord Apocalypse, it doesn't matter what you think. If they got to put that in there. I don't care how silly it would be. It's got to be in there. But really, he can if you need him to do something. And somebody like an Apocalypse, that's going to be more dour. It's going to be more monotone, except for when there's rage. And I'll tell you what, as much as we joke about Black Adam, when he's playing Black Adam that way, It works.
It was great. I mean, that's what I was going to say. That shows he could be absolutely be Apocalypse, because Black Adam had that kind of apocalypse quality.
That's almost a downside for me. I was thinking it's like this kind of comes close to Black Adam. I don't know.
But I don't know, once you put him in, because remember, you're hardly going to see The Rock. You put him in, the makeup, all that kind of stuff. I think you're right, Rob. There's going to be a mixture of what they did with Oscar Isaac versus a mixture of what they did with Josh Brolin with Thanos. There's going to be CG elements to it too. Because remember, Apocalypse can make himself bigger and all that kind of stuff.
By the way, I want to give a shout out though to Oscar Isaac. He was great as Apocalypse.
I really did not like that movie, but I thought he did a fine job.
I mean, all of his line readings and everything. I mean, he threw himself into that role. I mean, he was great.
Yeah. So look, would The Rock be my choice for it? No, wouldn't be my choice. But I think it's silly to discard it out of hand. I think he'd be perfectly fine, especially in the hands of the right director. You put him with the right director. Now, but here's the problem I got with it. Here's the problem I got. All right. I love Dwayne Johnson. I do. I love The Rock. I love seeing him on screen. He's very entertaining. Apocalypse and the story of Apocalypse is one of my most treasured things in my comic reading as a kid. Dwayne, if you're watching, and obviously you are, that's how he starts his day. What? He's doing his 3-hour a day of workouts. What do you think he's doing while he's working out? He's watching the John Campea Show.
Yeah, of course so.
So Dwayne, love you, buddy. But if you're going to come in and play Apocalypse, show fucking up on time. How about that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
How about that? How about not seeing yourself as above everybody else and you can just wander in onto set whenever you want? Because you know who is bigger? You know who is big enough in Hollywood to not take that shit?
Wolverine.
Our favorite hat-wearing dude, Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's adorable, Dwayne. That's adorable. You know who's 5 times more powerful than you in this industry? Me. Kevin Feige, not John Campea. I mean, it would have to be that way. Now, look, at the end of the day, do I believe this report? No, I don't. I just think the first reasons far outweigh the pro reasons. They're not going to cast this role years before they're anywhere near making it. I just don't see it happening. And with all the reports going around about Dwayne, how he can be difficult and all that kind of stuff, like everybody says he's a super nice guy, and that's great. But if you're difficult to work with, as nice as you are, maybe as well-meaning as you are, that is something Kevin Feige will not tolerate. We want to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. My favorite spring cleaning takeaway is the post-clean clarity you get. Wow, how have I been living like this? It's kind of like when you find out that you've been paying a fortune for wireless when Mint Mobile has phone plans for just $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. My last mobile service provider was quite good, but ever since I switched to Mint Mobile, I've enjoyed even better coverage, better phone clarity, and I'm paying less than a third of what I paid to my old provider. Say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all of your existing contacts. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bills to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions may apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
Right.
And so I really doubt that this, again, if they announce tomorrow, Rob, that it's official, he's going to be it, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, but I just don't see it happening. What do you think?
You know, I watched for New Year's Eve this past year, the change of years into 2024. We with Elizabeth, we didn't really go anywhere. And Elizabeth's family, we watched Ben-Hur. And first of all, Ben-Hur is a great movie. But at the core of Ben-Hur, you have Judah Ben-Hur and one of his best friends. They're the greatest friends when they're young men. And then they wind up on opposite sides of the fence. You know, one is a despot, and then there's Ben-Hur. I could see in a Marvel movie, I could see where they introduce En Sabanur as like a normal dude. You know, like maybe he doesn't quite know what his destiny is, and you've got Ramatut, you've got Kang coming back from the future, knowing that he has to influence events or something and kick off what we know is going to eventually lead to Apocalypse. But it's like that Ben-Hur scene when you see these young men, they're proud and it's all going to be great, but we know that Kang is setting up the future or whatever because he's messing with time. You know, he who remains. And I could see a really great like flashback scene. It's only seen the movie that sets it up. And we know as the audience where it's going to go. So it's almost like instead of a ending scene of a movie, maybe it'll be the ending scene, but it'd almost be like a pre-title sequence in a movie. Maybe it's a pre-title sequence in whatever this Avengers 5 is going to be.
We're pretty wildly speculating.
I know I'm making this up, but I'm just saying you're asking, could I see it?
Yeah.
I could see it. And if you're going to set up, because the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
But I'm specifically asking you, not can you see Apocalypse?
I can see Dwayne Johnson.
You see Dwayne
Yeah,
doing
100%. And they set it up and we know it's going to come. And I absolutely think that Apocalypse, who else would you cast? I mean, if you're going to cast somebody, he could pull it off.
Yep.
He could pull it off. And you know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has got to get back to planning. They have to be planners.
schemers.
Because that's why it worked so well. And I think they're going to go back to that. And if they were to set that up and let people go, ooh, the X-Men are coming, that's a great way to say that the X-Men are coming without going, here they are. You know, you're setting something up in an Avengers movie. That's pretty cool. I'm not saying they're doing that, but
Buy into
cool.
the heel of
I would love to see this.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Hot Toys figure of Dwayne Johnson as Apocalypse. I want it, John.
I'm not saying that would be.
You put this in my head today. I didn't have to have this happen today. But
By
now
the way,
I'm-
I just got to throw this out there. For those of you who don't ever watch wrestling, The Rock has about 17 dozen catchphrases. But whenever he shows up in an arena, like let's say it's in Pittsburgh, the first thing he'll do is finally, The Rock has come back to Pittsburgh. Todd Kaepernick in the live chat just wrote, finally, The Rock has come back to work.
oh,
That's the comment of the day in the live chat for me. That for me is the comment of the
but
day.
wouldn't you like to see it?
Again, not my first choice.
All right.
Not my first choice. But again, if tomorrow they announce Dwayne Johnson has officially signed up to play Apocalypse and Sabanur in the MCU, I'll be down. I'm like, because I'll know, hey, if Kevin Feige is okay with it, then he's got a vision and he knows that this will work. So I'll be okay with it. It's just, it wouldn't be my pick. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Because if it is, he's got to bring the snitch Dwayne Johnson and not Skyscraper. No, what was the one with the building on fire?
What's
it called? Skyscraper?
Yeah,
Showering Inferno. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Skyscraper. Not The Rock from San Andreas. Not The Rock from Skyscraper. Not The Rock
from the game plan.
from Fast and Furious. Definitely not The Rock from Tooth Fairy the Game. He's got to bring Dwayne Johnson from Faster or Dwayne Johnson from Snitch or something like that. And then, we'll see. Well, we'll see. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? I mean, he could do it. And maybe he'd be perfect for it. It all depends on the direction they're going. I don't personally believe this. I don't think it's going to happen, but maybe you do. What are some pros and cons about it? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.